Well, the Sith are at it again, making sure we can't do technical connections, by golly. But hey, welcome everybody. Guess what? Today, here, we are going to discuss still doing our Star Wars month review, and we are doing the Ronin Sith. Stay tuned here on Two Geeks and a Microphone.
So who talks first? You talk first. I talk first.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Two Geeks and a Microphone show. I am your co-host, Mr. Stephen Boster, along with the one, the only, Mr. Michael Shanks. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good morning to all you geeks out there in Geekdom land, and happy Orthodox Star Wars Day.
Oh gosh, that's so funny. Now, for those that may not know or understand, why do you say happy Orthodox Star Wars Day?
Well, obviously, the majority of Star Wars fans celebrate Star Wars Day on May the 4th, or May the 4th be with you. But there's a lot of diehards out there who hate May the 4th. I don't. I do like May the 4th. I think it's a fun little Star Wars holiday.
It's fun, yes.
But I respect the fact that some people look at May 25th. It is the 25th, right? Yes, May 25th as the actual Star Wars Day, because that is the anniversary of the release date of the original Star Wars movie in 1977. So a lot of people consider that the actual Star Wars Day. So I call it Orthodox Star Wars Day.
Yeah. I always considered it the beginning of the summer movie season.
Yes.
Because that was that weekend, that the week before Memorial Day weekend, or the date just before Memorial Day weekend, because then a lot of people were going out to go see movies Memorial Day weekend to kick off their summer. So
yep, you're going to see movies, the pools are opening, so on and so forth.
Right.
Wait a minute. Are the pools opening there in Montana? Because like you get that snow, dude.
We got snow the other day. It snowed from, when I was up, it was snowing till a good 6-7 hours.
I saw your picture. I was just like, you keep that crap, dude.
It's melted. But yeah, it's just kind of funny. So
that would be mind blowing for me to wake up here May 20 whatever, and
23rd. Yeah,
23rd, and ground is covered in snow. I'd be like, what the hell is going on?
Right. The biggest shock this last winter was it this winter or last year? Maybe it was last year. It was last year. And I walk out, I get up morning and I go to take the dogs out. You know how that goes. You got to go, you're groggy, blah, 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 blah. I go to open the door and like, none of the dogs are leaving. I'm like, why are you guys not leaving? Then I look up and holy cow, we got 3 feet of snow overnight. It's the worst we've ever gotten.
The dogs are like, I ain't going out in that. You go out.
Right. So I had to dig a path so they could go to the bathroom. In 3 feet of snow, took a little bit.
I can see the dog's mind working, going, you go crap out there.
Right. Oh goodness. Well, everybody, we have a jam-packed show today. We've got all things that we want to talk about, and we still even have our main topic to talk about: Star Wars Visions Ronin, and we're pretty excited about it. It's an interesting character. We don't have I'll save it for when we get there
for the podcast,
right? So we're going to go ahead and start with our all our kind of fun stuff beforehand. So what do we do? Geeky news first?
Yeah, let's jump into the geeky news. I got one item for the geeky news.
I love it. Let's do it.
All right. So for the geeky news, friend of the show. I think I can call him friend of the show. We've had him on the show, so I will count that as friend of the show. Eric July, the CEO of Rippaverse Comic Books.
Rippaverse. Rippaverse
had an announcement. I got an email yesterday, and I went, "Oh crap, we got to show this." So here, I'm just going to show the video.
Very excited.
2022, the Rippaverse launched and made a big splash in the comic book industry. 4 campaigns, each over 1 million output. I can't read that fast.
Animated shorts, but the fans demanded our presence in other markets. Back in '94, another company with seeing completely change the industry. This collaboration was inevitable. What the? I have not seen this yet. McFarlane Toys. The first ever Rippaverse statue. So it's going to be Yaira? That'll be cool.
Had the Yaira logo spanning there. And when we get a
prototype,
that is the prototype of the new Yaira statue that McFarlane Toys has produced. It is freaking amazing.
Holy cow.
It's beautiful. If I remember, I'll put the link in the audio podcast too, so that you guys can go to the link and check this out. If not, go to rippaverse.com or just search this out on YouTube, Yaira statue. And yeah, you'll see these amazing shots of this beautiful statue. So Yaira is approximately 12.7 inches tall, 1/6 scale, limited edition, made of resin, deluxe 4-color closed box packaging, and it's rated 14 plus, not a toy.
Not a toy. No, it is art. Prototype shown. Final product subject to change. It'll be close to that, but that is really cool.
Oh yeah, I got the email on that yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, we definitely got to show this. This looks amazing." It's a little pricey. It's around, I think it was $450 was the price.
Okay.
On it. I don't remember. It was over $400 for the statue, which I mean that's
like Sideshow Collectibles, though. I mean,
right, yeah. McFarlane is high grade, high quality, good stuff. So if you want a really high quality statue of the Yaira character, which by the way, the Yaira comic book started shipping this week too. So hopefully I will be getting mine over the next few weeks.
Yay. I have mine in my cart because I'm still waiting to. It's called saving up. Not that it's that expensive, but I'm trying to fill in the gaps of the Rippaverse stuff that I don't have.
Oh, understandable. Well, I have. Once I get Yaira, I think I'm completely caught up because I have both issues of. Oh gosh.
Isom.
Huh?
Isom.
Yes, I have both issues, ISOM, and then the group. Gosh, my brain's not working this morning. Anyway, I have everything but Yaira, so I'm waiting for Yaira. I'm waiting for you to get Yaira, and we will definitely do an episode on Yaira. So,
yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be good. I like a lot. Hey, thanks for showing that statue. I had not seen it. I was like, what?
I was like, oh, that's why I started to show it to you this morning before we went on.
We were testing it. Yeah,
and I was like, wait a minute. If he ain't seen this, I want reaction. So podcast, I'm glad the video played and worked. So yeah,
it did.
Everybody go check out rippaverse.com. Go buy the new Yaira book. Heck, buy all of Eric July's books. So
cool.
Yep.
Well,
all right. Ready for some Geekdar?
Let's do Geekdar.
Control with the radar, sir.
What's wrong with it?
I've lost the bleeps, I've lost the sweeps, and I've lost the creeps.
The what? The what? And the what?
You know, the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps.
That's not all he's lost.
All right, I got a poop load of stuff today.
Nice.
So first off, I want to share with everybody. Last time, a couple of weeks ago, I talked about I'm reading some ergodic literature. It's kind of interactive literature and things like that. And
now wait a minute, repeat that word again.
Ergodic.
Okay, just wanted to make sure it wasn't erotic.
No. That was a good one. I appreciate that. It was pretty funny. No, ergodic. It's just a style of literature where you're more engaged. If you guys remember the Choose Your Own Adventure books, technically that's considered ergodic literature. So it's not, you're not just passively going page to page to page to page to read. I finished one which is Bats of the Republic. And that one was more art than it was story, if that makes sense. It's really interesting. But storytelling wise, it kind of, by the time I got to the end, there wasn't a lot of explanations and things just kind of happened. And the secret at the end was interesting too. So you can either open up the final letter or not open up the final letter, either way. And if you don't open it, the story is fine. But then when you open the letter, you know, it's in a sealed envelope and you open it up and read it. It's kind of interesting how it does change. It does change some of the book storytelling a little bit, but not enough to be like, well, wait a minute, how did we get here? You know, kind of a thing, but it was really good. It was worth the read. So while I was finished it, I went to Barnes & Noble. So point one is Bats of the Republic. Interesting book if you want to get into ergodic literature. So then I went to Barnes & Noble where I was in Iowa, and I got this book. I'm putting it on the screen, and it's called Murder Your Employer. Now, this it is by Rupert Holmes. Now, some of you may recognize the name of Rupert Holmes. Rupert Holmes is the guy who wrote the Pina Colada song. What? Yes. So he is in his 70s and he started writing. I think he's in his 70s now. So the author, or the guy who wrote the Pina Colada song, wrote a book called Murder Your Employer.
Oh, wait a minute. Gosh. Cheeseburger in Paradise, Pina Coladas. Gosh, I know this. Why don't I? Anyway, sorry.
Pina Colada. Anyway, so Rupert Holmes, that guy. So
okay, never mind.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Just ignore me.
That's okay. So this book came out a year ago. The second book is supposed to come out soon. The second book's called Murder Your Mate.
Wow.
So one of the I guess I'm gonna see who. I'm trying to remember who was it that said it. But it's kind of a cross between Hogwarts, like a school to teach you something, along with I will say, like, they teach you how to murder, but they don't call it murder, they call it deletion.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
And gosh, I gotta figure. I had this on my finger on it, and then I lost it when I put it on here. Oh, yeah.
At least they call it deletion, and they don't call it unalived. This is a thing lately that people don't like to say the word dead, died, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And they're saying unalived. So
it's not that they don't like to say it. It's that there's been problems with, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Censorship, basically. It's a way to censor it because
I understand.
It'll get censored.
Right.
Okay.
If you're on social media, because they'll find it and they'll delete it. Yeah, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which is stupid.
Here's what Los Angeles Times says. It says, a funny, fast-paced, flip-the-playbook mystery in which three ordinary citizens are trained in murder on a luxurious hidden estate, a fantasy academy laid out like a combination of Hogwarts, Downton Abbey, and White Lotus-style resort. Holmes can clearly do anything. And let me tell you, it is hysterical, it's fun, and it's engaging. I'm a little more for sure than a third of the way through, and I am absolutely loving it.
Is that a paperback book or a hardback?
It's paperback. Okay. So if you go right now, it's murder mystery month at Barnes & Noble. So it's a buy one get one half off.
Oh wow!
They have a whole selection of books like that. So that's what I did. And then my other one,
and it's Memorial Day weekend, so I'm pretty sure there's some other specials going on at Barnes & Noble. So
the other book not
that Barnes & Noble sponsors us or anything.
No, not that they sponsor us. But I will say this, for my second one, I got Myrtle. Oh, my sticker's over it. It's called It's called Myrtle, and it's a whole collection of like murder mysteries, like one-page murder mysteries that you can solve, and they're at different levels and stuff. So
Is
they
it a
teach you.
snowman on the cover?
No, it's just an eyeball, like
Okay.
like the eyeglass, the spyglass with a
Gotcha.
trench coat and a hat and stuff. So anyway, okay.
That one.
Yeah, so that's fun. So I haven't started that one yet, but it's. I mean, you can do one at a time. I mean, it's like a crossword puzzle kind of a thing, but it's a murder mystery.
So you could. They're like little short.
There's like
stories?
100. Yeah, I think there's like 100 of them in this book. So there's 100 different, and they're all at different levels of deduction and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, my son Josh got me. He wanted one for Christmas, and I thought, oh, that looks interesting. Then I saw it was on the buy one get one 50% off. Okay, so enough of books. So
Stephen always looking for a deal. So
I know I'm a sucker for a good deal. So then, but the other thing I wanted to do today is I don't know if this is technically would be geeky news, but last week they released the Beetlejuice full trailer, and so I want to show it.
Yet, so.
I want to share it. I want to do this on the show because I know Mike you love Beetlejuice.
Oh, yes.
And I thought this would be fun. So
now, before you do this, we might want to like stop every so many seconds, just because we could get blocked for playing it all the way through. I think Beetlejuice was the one we got in trouble for last time.
Yeah, Warner Brothers is kind of a pain, even though we're not even monetized.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is just,
ridiculous.
Redonkulous. Put it that way.
I love it.
All right. So we'll pause at different spots. And okay, here we go.
Here's a preview. Be warned, it's intense.
She's like our age.
I know. I know. And she still looks pretty young.
Right?
Yes.
Right? Whatever fountain of youth thing she's got going on. Make me a part of it. Okay, here we go. We'll continue. Sorry. Oh, yeah. We better talk over this part.
Yeah.
We better talk over it. I think if we talk over it, I think we're totally fine.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
Now we're getting the shot of the family.
Isn't that the mom in Schitt's Creek?
Schitt's Creek?
Have you not seen that show? That's the mom. She plays the mom, Catherine O'Hara. She's hysterical.
I just know she's the original from the original Beetlejuice movie, and she's been in a lot of other stuff. I just can't think of what else she's been in.
Yeah, and that's Jenna Ortega.
Right, Jenna Ortega, who recently played Wednesday, who was fantastic as Wednesday, by the way.
Yeah, did really good in Wednesday.
Can't believe Grandpa's dead.
Death is hard.
Yeah, sometimes I think life is harder.
Did you see the facial expression? She was like, what? Warner Brothers.
I think that was just like an open invitation to Beetlejuice right there.
Right. Right. Did you catch the
statue?
The statue right there? I thought that was good.
When I was a teenager, a trickster demon terrorized our entire family and tried to force me to marry him.
For the mind of Tim Burton.
I believed he was gone forever until you found this in the attic.
Oh, wait.
Okay. Well, yeah. See if we can rewind that a little bit.
I'll be better about stopping it and stop.
There we go. Okay. Bioexorcist. I believe that's what the original ad had said in the original film too. Beetlejuice. Exercise your right to rest in peace.
And then it also says looking for a love connection, and there he is on the thing. That's hysterical. Don't be a ghoul. Give Beetlejuice a call. I love how it does it 3 times. Beetlejuice. Then it says three times. Beetlejuice.
So nobody says the B word.
Right?
The attic. Ew. Who's Beetlejuice?
Don't ever say that name.
Beetlejuice.
I am serious.
If you say his name 3 times,
he will appear.
Oh gosh.
The juice is loose.
Oh, I love it. I love
Right.
it. Look at her face.
I'm gonna make you so happy.
September.
The living. The dead.
That's I looked up who that was
Who was
because it
that?
looked familiar. That's Monica Bellucci, I think is how you say. I can't remember her name. She was in The Matrix. Was the first movie I saw her in. The second Matrix movie. She was in one of the James Bond movies. And she's been in a bunch of different
Can they
movies.
coexist? That's what we're here to find out.
Love it. The shrunken
Michael
head.
Keaton, Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, Justin Theroux, Monica Bellucci, Jenna Ortega, William Dafoe.
Oh wow.
Sandworm.
Oh, the sandworms.
Beetlejuice.
Feel free to express
Yeah.
yourself. Feel free.
You're a figment of my imagination.
Really? Is this a figment of your imagination?
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Oh, it's gonna be so good. September 6th. Oh, we don't have too long either. Oh, we are so doing this, Stephen.
I thought you would like that.
Oh my gosh.
Watch
Yes,
that.
I love Beetlejuice. Michael Keaton is one of my all-time favorite actors. He is definitely my favorite Batman. And yeah, and the Beetlejuice character is just phenomenal. I love the Beetlejuice character. So
Yeah.
Good one, Stephen. I like it.
Yeah. I also figured out a way to download YouTube clips. I got so that way we could watch them. We wouldn't have to stream them and worry about buffering.
Oh, nice.
And stuff. So yeah. But I like how they call this one Beetlejuice. They don't call it Beetlejuice 2. They call it Beetlejuice.
Oh, I wonder if that means there's going to be a third one. I didn't even think about that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, good catch, Stephen. Oh, wow.
So could you imagine there's gonna be a third one? It's kind of called Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
It said it 3 times. Oh.
Nobody says the B word. Wow. That is so freaking cool. I love it. Wow. Stephen, you're so smart.
Yeah. Well, I thought I saw it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I almost sent it to you. And I thought, oh, wait, on chance he doesn't know. Let me see on for the podcast. So I saved it.
Saved
for the
it. Podcast. Good job.
Right on.
Clever
Right
catch.
on.
All right. I think
Cool.
Megan has a Geekdar, but she's going to have to come
Yes.
on the screen if she wants to do it. There we go. All right. So, Megan, what's your Geekdar?
I have 2 things.
Okay.
Sort of 3, but technicality 2. I'm going to start with going back to my obsession with Hazbin Hotel. There's a bunch of mugs featured in the show, and I say
Because
a
we don't
bunch,
have
but it's
enough
like 4.
mugs in this house.
Hey, I did not buy all 4 mugs. I only bought Alistair's. Oh, this is
And it says, "Oh dear."
because
D-
he's a deer. He's deer based, and the back has a little deer crossing
Oh, neat.
with like shadow tentacles because he has shadow powers.
Cool.
Yeah, I adore it.
Very
It's a
nice.
nice mug.
And then I finally got my comics back and signed because I had them waiting for like 2 months to get signed.
Now, you got to explain who signed them and where you got them signed at.
So one of the artists, her name is Susie. I don't know her last name, but she lives here in the Bella area, and she technically still works at the Fairview Fantasy, which is our local comic book store that we have 2 different locations that we've talked about many times. But she did the or she does the art for this one specifically. These are the issue zeros, so they've got both issues in them, and I bought both of them to have both
They're
good
issues
covers.
of what, Alterverse, as I'm reading that
Yes.
right?
Yes, it's called Alterverse. It's this one is Void Silver. It's focused on this guy right here. His name is Marvin. They are characters from I don't know. one of the YouTubers that I follow. His name is Jacksepticeye, or his account, or back with the ums. And he has different characters that he's made that he plays himself on the channel that we all refer to as egos. So this one is Marvin, and
Right.
she signed it at the bottom.
Nice.
And then I got doodles on them. So she drew a little cat
Oh, that's cool.
on this one. And then the other one focus is so it's called the Somewhat Incredible Jackie Boy Man, which that's Jackie Boy Man. And she signed it in green and then wrote a little note in white for that
I
one.
see that. Say thank you.
And the
That's
doodle
cool.
was she put Marvin's mask on him. I finally got that back.
You know, that's cool because that's more interactive than someone just signing their name that
Yeah.
they doodled on it too. That's
Yeah.
neat. That is neat.
Those are my things.
Cool.
So yeah, we when Megan first got those books, we were in Fantasy in Belleville, which is the one we frequent. And Ashley, the manager over there, we were talking to her, and Megan had asked her if they were going to get the books. And she said, "Well, I'm hoping we can get them." And she goes, "You know, the artist works over at our O'Fallon location, right?" And Megan was like, "No." So we went over there and talked to them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, she's autographing them. If you want to bring your books in and leave them, she'll autograph them for you." Well, it took what, I don't know, 2 months.
2 months.
But she did get them autographed, so it was really
Right.
cool. It was very cool.
That's awesome.
All
That's
right.
awesome. All right, let's do this.
Well, hang on. The only Geek Dar I got.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. I didn't think you had any. I'm sorry.
It is, well, I didn't, but I just thought of something before we went live. So it's sports related. So Steven's going to fall asleep here. But the St. Louis Battlehawks are
Yes.
our UFL football team. They have clinched the playoffs. They are going to be playing the San Antonio Brahmas in the playoffs. And if things go well, they should be playing here at home in the Battle Dome. And even better, the championship is going to be held at the Battle Dome, and there's a darn good chance that the Battlehawks will be playing in the championships here at home. So the only problem is with all our camping scheduled, a lot of our trips. Well, I scheduled all our trips before I knew the UFL schedule. Unfortunately, we are camping the weekend of the championship. So I had made a comment to my wife that we need to get a projector. and so I
You
can
can
project
watch
the
it.
football game on the side of the camper.
Right on.
So I just ordered a projector, and she told me Happy Father's Day.
Aw, that's awesome.
So my projector is my Father's Day gift, my early Father's Day gift. And I was playing with it last night. It was funny. I was in the living room and she was watching TV. So I was projecting it on the ceiling in the living room. I just didn't really have any place to project it to.
Where you're trying to test it out, sure.
But yeah, ordered it from Amazon, and it is this projector right here.
Nice, a little home theater projector. That's cool.
So I can hook up my iPhone to it. I can hook up Amazon Fire Stick to it, stuff like that. So we just got to make sure we got a decent internet connection for Father's Day weekend, and I should be good to go and project the football game on the side of the camper.
You guys hear that? It sounds like Mike's about to get himself some Starlink action.
And my dog's trying to eat the box.
Us and our new puppies.
Yeah, I apologize if you hear squeaks because
we're not hearing anything. It's all good.
Okay, good.
We more or less hear you yelling.
Yeah. Well, I keep trying to. Well, you probably hear me through Megan's microphone. Hey, stop it.
Case in point, everybody.
Well, that one I happened to catch her right away. I couldn't. Anyway, that's my Geek Jar. St. Louis Battlehawks are going to the playoffs, and I am super freaking excited. Football in spring, I love it.
So I'll admit, we were at a sports store last weekend in Iowa, and they were doing a big tent sale, and I was inside waiting for them and stuff, and they had on the screen the Battlehawks game playing.
Nice.
And I was watching it, and I sat there and I thought of you as I saw it and stuff, and they were doing really well. And I'm like, man, does everybody have a mic? All the players, all the coaches, because they kept you could hear everything that they're saying. I mean, everything that they're saying.
Yeah, that is one of the unique things about the UFL. The UFL tries different things than the NFL, and one of the unique things is that all the coaches are mic'd. Sometimes they have the quarterbacks mic'd so you can hear them.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear a lot of the exchange back and forth. I love it. Now, last season it got a little bit much because, I mean, you heard everything that was going on. And there were times it's like, okay, you can cut some of that off because I have no clue of what in the world they're talking about, because they're sending codes back and forth to each other. And, and halftime, I don't know what those codes mean. So, but it is cool to hear the banter back and forth between them. Last week, who were they playing last week? I want to say Washington. I think it was Washington. Anyway, their defensive coach, he made a comment that if a particular player didn't listen to him, his shoe was going to come out a different color. Meaning he's going to put his foot up someone's ass if they don't do what they're told.
Right. That's funny.
I was like, I love this guy. You guys need to make him head coach because he's awesome. He was so funny.
It was good. It was actually pretty intriguing, I have to admit. So
you should check out the UFL, man.
I know it was intriguing. What was funny is they had a call that got challenged.
Yes.
When the quarterback got hit. And I'm sitting there watching it. I thought it was hysterical. Here's this guy. He's talking you through what he's doing. He's got all these monitors and TV screens, and he said, okay, I'm looking here and blah, blah, blah. And it says, here's this. It looks like this. Well, let me look. I'm going to take you to my other camera. He goes, it looks at the other camera and stuff like that. He goes,
that's one of the unique things about the UFL that the NFL doesn't do. And I love it because you go through the entire process. That's Dan Blandino. And Dan, he also works for the NFL. And he's like head of like the rules coordination or something like that for the UFL. So he helps determine all the ruling, all the rules and stuff and the ruling for the UFL. And yes, at any time in the game, a coach can challenge any play he wants. He can only do it one time, and he has to. And if he does, and if the challenge is not accepted, if the challenge is overruled, then he loses a timeout for his team. Right.
And
but
he lost the timeout.
Yeah, he sure did. He sure did.
It was great because look, he just got sandwiched.
There are times when Roger and I will talk back and forth while we're watching the game, and the coach will go, "Oh, I want to challenge this," and he throws out the challenge flag, and we're going, you should have saved your challenge for a better call. That was a bad one to challenge. Why did you do that? Personally, if you're not going to gain points on it or gain yardage, then I question sometimes challenging things. But coaches do what they do, and in the heat of things, sometimes you're like, no, I don't believe that call, and so anyway, UFL's great. Check it out. St. Louis Battlehawks have the largest fan base in the entire UFL, and yeah, we're awesome.
All right, man. We better get to our main event.
Right. No, enough sports talk. All right. No, thank you, Stephen, for letting me do my sports talk. By the way. All right, main event.
It's time for the main event. Star Wars. We're talking more Star Wars.
Yeah, I keep singing. I wanted to get something up here real quick. So, real quick, I wanted to kind of give a little explanation of the Ronin.
Perfect.
A quick rundown of a traditional Ronin. A Ronin is a masterless samurai. A Ronin was a samurai warrior in feudal. Am I saying that right? Feudal Japan, from the time period of 1185 to 1868, who had no lord or master, also known as a daimyo, which is what Boba Fett was in the Boba Fett series. He took on the title of daimyo. I don't know if I'm saying that right either.
That's okay. I won't know on that one.
I apologize to any Japanese listeners. I am going to just murder.
We're doing the best we can.
Yeah, we're doing the best we can. It's not
take it from that point of view. If we mess it up, we're so sorry. And feel free to send us an audio clip of how to actually say it.
Yeah, I have utter respect for the Japanese. So I want to go to Japan sometime. So yeah. Anyway, loss of status. There were several ways a samurai could become a Ronin. Their lord could die in battle, fall from power, or dismiss them for various reasons. The samurai themselves might also choose to leave their lord due to dishonor or disagreement. Life on the road. Ronin were forced to wander from place to place, often facing hardship and poverty. Varied reputations. Some Ronin found work as hired swords or bodyguards, while others resorted to banditry or crime. This led to a Ronin stereotype of disgruntled and potentially dangerous warrior. And then finally, the code of honor. Despite their circumstances, many Ronin still adhered to the samurai code of Bushido, emphasizing honor, loyalty, and marital or martial prowess. Marital
prowess.
Marital prowess.
Sign me up for that class.
There you go. All right, so that's a quick down of what a Ronin is.
Okay.
Last night, Brenda asked, "Hey, what are you guys doing an episode on?" I said, "Star Wars, the Ronin, and the droid." She goes, "Yeah, I don't even know what those words mean." So I thought, it might be a good idea.
It's a great idea.
Give an explanation of what a Ronin is.
It's a great idea. Now, we were first introduced to the Ronin character in Star Wars Visions. It was the first. Was it the first episode? It was the first episode.
Yes,
wasn't it, in Visions.
It was the first episode because I rewatched it last night. I got to say, I still love that.
I actually enjoy it. I will show you. I'm going to share my screen, everybody, again, because I want to show you my favorite scene. My favorite scene was because you don't know who he is, kind of a thing. And that's the cool mystery of them all. He's a Ronin. And he even says he has no lord. Now, I don't think this is going to work because I was not able to download this scene, kind of a thing. Well, I wasn't, because it's still on my Disney Plus thing.
Oh, yeah, this will be fun.
Yeah. Hang on a second. I forgot
trial.
Yes, I forgot to push the little button to make sure it shares the audio. All right, here we go. So this is my favorite scene of watching it. So it's and the art is just phenomenal.
Oh, the art is beautiful. Oh, the umbrella lightsaber thingy.
Just a simple wanderer.
Yeah, just a simple wanderer is what he says. But the art is just incredible. There's the guy working on the droid, trying to get it done by the time. That's a unique concept, an umbrella lightsaber. And then
as he stops the
you're a
lightsaber.
Jedi. And then here it comes. Wait for it.
He gets ready to pull his sword just like a traditional samurai would.
And it's red. That's like my favorite scene right there. The way he pulls that out.
Oh, I love it. And then the surprise on her face when she finds out, wait a minute, he's got a red saber.
I'm not a Jedi. Yeah, where he discusses that. So that's like my favorite sequence.
Oh, that's that whole episode was just fantastic. I honestly think that was the best of both Visions 1 and 2. Really, honestly.
Agreed.
The art is
a
phenomenal.
novel and comic book or two.
Do what? Repeat that.
It's probably the most popular. It's why it spawned a novel and a comic book or two.
Well, I mean, to be fair, there have been comics of the others too.
Yes.
I just haven't been interested in them.
That's okay.
This was the only one I had interest in. And I have to thank Ashley over at Fantasy Books, because she was the one who told me that it was out a few months ago. And she's like, "Hey, I got something you might be interested in." And I was like, "What is it?" And she says, "Star Wars: The Ronin." I'm like, "Give me 2." Because I was like, I got to send that to Steven.
Right on. Thank you. And that's what we're talking about too today. So, yes. So what I think one of the things I really liked about it was just an intriguing character that was the big surprise, is like, you thought Ronin, the Jedi, they've, now they don't, they're all dispersed, the Empire, blah, 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 blah. And, but then he's got that sword, he pulls it out. You're like, what? So
yeah, the art in this book is just as beautiful as the art in the actual episode. Fantastic work. You still got your camera set up?
I will.
Steven had a camera set up for us for show and tell of Visions, by the way.
Excited. All right.
Now, I got to say, I need some help understanding this book, though.
Yeah, I had to read it a couple of times because I couldn't figure out what was going on. Well, let me rephrase that. It's got some time jumps in it, but it's so hard to tell because of the way the art style is. You got to really pay attention to who's in the frames to know when it's going on. And so we're going to...
And the cover is just fantastic. Oh, my gosh. Beautiful.
So here, we're going to show everybody. Here is the Takashi Okazaki. Is I think the way to say that. I think
I'm glad you said it.
Yeah. So what you have here is this guy here. I almost used the wrong finger to show you.
Nice. Oh, look, it's Angie.
Hi, Angie. Let's see. Good morning, Angie.
Good morning, Angie. Good. Happy Orthodox Star Wars Day.
Yeah.
All right. So here's this character. Sarah, let me move it over so you don't get the yellow. This guy, our Ronin, and the robot.
Yeah, it's not a robot. It's
the droid.
Thank you.
Sorry.
We don't call them robots in Star Wars.
I know. It just kind of alliterated with Ronin.
There's only one reference to robots in Star Wars, and that was actually in Star Wars: A New Hope. And Luke even makes the comment, "Oh, what if they followed the robots to Uncle Owen and Aunt Brewer's house?"
Yeah.
And I think that was just a mistake that was never caught on to. Now, I love this scene. This scene is awesome because you get the little R5 droid, and then you get a 3PO droid, and they're in like Japanese samurai type garb, and they're walking through a desert, and you even see the crate dragon skeleton behind him, exactly like you see in the opening of Star Wars: A New Hope.
Yeah, I call it. I figured it was a callback to New Hope. Definitely a callback to New Hope.
Definitely. Agreed. I mean, even the exchange between 3PO and the R5 droid is very similar.
It is similar. So I figure probably what's happening here is it is a connection to that world. So they're talking, and then all of a sudden it goes to a whole. Well, here's a panel of who you think is
the Ronin,
because the droid is here, but actually there's the Ronin.
Right.
And so you're like, what is going on? And so
see, this is where I got confused, because I was like, okay, where did the 3PO droid go? Where did the protocol droid go?
Right. You don't see him till the very end. So it's almost like bookends of the story. It's like I wonder if the droid is telling him the story of his adventures.
Which, I mean, that makes sense, because if you look at the original Star Wars, the original 3, Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, they are all told from the perspective of the droids, which makes it parallel to the Japanese, Kurosawa. Because Kurosawa is told. Now, I've never watched Kurosawa. I need to. I really do.
Samurai. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as a Star Wars fan, I really need to watch that. But George Lucas was influenced heavily by the Seventh Samurai, and from what I understand, the Seventh Samurai is actually told from the slave's perspective, and that's what the droids represent. Was basically that slave.
Whoa! What a connection. Okay.
Yeah. So when
that
you
makes
say
more sense now.
Okay, so when you say that this is possibly told from the droid's perspective, that's what I get from that.
Okay. Yeah, because so then we go to where all of a sudden here's the guy here and let's battle, kind of a thing. You're like, well, how did we get here all of a sudden? And so then there's like an ad on every left page.
Yeah, and for Thrawn Alliances, by the way, which is an amazing book.
Right on.
We might have to go through those too.
Yeah. So there's this big battle that's happening between them. Great art, great style. I love how it's black and white. And
you were worried about the yellow, but I like the tinge the yellow gives it, actually.
The tinge yellow. Yes. I have a yellow lamp, everyone, that I've got off to the side a little bit, but it does give it a little bit of color, but it is black and white. I can move it up so you can see it. So they're battling. So there's this whole battle that occurs and happens, and they're having this whole battle. And then all of a sudden you're like, you see the hat dragging the droid. I can't, the way my thing works. There it is, where he's dragging the droid out. And you're like, well, where are we at? What's going on?
No, wait, go back to that a second. Go back just for a second. So that almost reminds me of like the scene in the valley in A New Hope, like where the Jawas grab R2, where Luke is attacked by the Tusken Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Beggar's Canyon, basically. It kind of reminds me of Beggar's Canyon from A New Hope.
Yeah. I'm going to skip some other pages. So it goes through the story, just because I don't want to do all of them on there. I don't want us to get in trouble. Kind of thing. But then you see that they're fishing. They're having he's having this vision of that he's fishing, but all of a sudden he sees the droid with the Ronin, the other Sith that he's battling. And then he's like, oh, I had this dream. Looks like there's a holocron in there too. I had this dream, and then here he is, and now we're at the top of this mountain, and they're having a discussion. I love you, my droid. I love you, my droid. That's not really what's happening.
I love his mask, by the way, too.
His mask is great, but you see, he's got here he comes. and then boom, now we're back to the fight. So it's like we go back in time to right when the fight begins, if that makes sense. So here is where the fight, where he first walks up to him to have the fight. Now we're back into the fight as it's going into the water. And there is an incredible shot right there.
That's beautiful. That's
It's a great shot.
beautiful. Love it.
And that's where he does the final stroke. But the old Sith already knew, foresaw this kind of a thing. And then he gives him, so the Ronin gives the old Sith the burning burial, kind of like how we see at the end of Return of the Jedi.
Right, with Darth Vader.
Yes.
Also with Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon Jinn got
Qui-Gon
that.
Jinn. Yep. And then it finishes up and he says, hey, you come, here's the, he's like, oh, you coming along? Or yeah, here, now it goes back to the beginning of where the beginning. So it flips between it flips between the fight to where with the vision that he has, that the old Sith has, to the fight, back to here's where they first met before the fight, which takes us all the way back to the beginning. So it's kind of a back and forth. And so you could call this a form of ergodic literature, only in the aspect that you kind of have to, if you really want to see it from beginning to end, you have to kind of go back and forth a little bit.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
And all, because it's done in different orders, like flashbacks. But then he says, hey, you coming? And then he puts the hat on the
right
on the droid, which I love that. And then it's back to the C-3PO type situation, which makes me think he's telling the story.
Gotcha.
While they're in the desert doing their thing, he's telling the story.
So let me ask you this. Do you think that that the older Ronin, or I say older, we don't really know the ages, but the Ronin with the mask, do you think he's actually like the master, and then the Ronin that we know is actually the apprentice? And then it's following the Sith order?
No,
where the apprentice has to kill the master.
If I just had it from the book itself, I would have thought that. But since we have the Visions episode 1, remember when he opened up his cloak and he had all those?
Oh yeah, he's got all the
red kyber crystals.
Kyber crystals, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that's where I think he's just. I don't know what his motivations are. I mean, you could say he's trying to reenact the rule of 2, and there's too many Sith that are out there, and but
he doesn't have. It's not like has an apprentice, and I don't believe he has a master either. So
yeah, I don't know.
It's almost like he's just hunting Sith.
It's like he's hunting Sith.
So then that also brings the question: is he really Sith? Is he something else? You know, I mean, there's a lot of mystery around this guy because I can't tell whether he's really Sith. I don't think he's Jedi, but then again, he doesn't seem to follow Sith either, because he stands up for the village and everything against the quote unquote Empire, or what's left of the Empire, or whatever that is because you got kind of a mix of Empire looking people, and then you got like the Bosk. I can't think of what Bosk is. Trandoshans. You get like Trandoshans in there and other races in there too, you know. So he stands up for it, which, I mean, that goes along with the Ronin code very well, but it doesn't exactly follow the Sith code. So I am so confused who he actually is, which makes it interesting.
It does make it interesting. Everybody, if you're listening to this, please put in the comments what your thoughts are, because we are very curious about this.
And if you're somebody that really is into the whole Ronin culture and stuff, and you got some good insight in there, please comment, email with a comment or whatnot, and heck, we might even get you on the show too. You know, if you got some better understanding on what this story is all about.
Yes. So, yeah. So I thank you for the comic book because it's really good. The art's great. It's minimal. It's minimal dialogue, and a lot of pencil art with the color highlights.
Yeah, you definitely couldn't have said that you didn't have enough time to get through this one.
Right?
No time issues with this one.
That's right. There are no time issues with this one.
I mean, I read it a couple times because I was like, I don't know if I understand this. I like it, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm so confused of what's going on with the story and stuff.
Yeah, it's a back and forth time jump kind of thing. You know, it's you know, I didn't even think about what you said about from the droid's perspective. What does he remember and why? And so there's probably a couple of different levels of how to really look at this.
Oh, I'm sure.
So, which is really interesting. But if those who like chronological stuff, you're just going to have to kind of flip back and forth and go, okay, here's this part, here's this part, here's this part. But with the C-3PO droid being the bookends of it, makes me think he's just telling him the story.
Gotcha. Which again would fall right in line with Kurosawa and telling the story from the perspective of the slaves.
And how he first met this Ronin character, the droid.
Which
how
perfectly goes along with George Lucas's, you know, original inspirations. We'll say.
Yes. We should do that. We should invite some friends of the show and just do a Seven Samurai discussion.
Ooh, well, I'll have to. Because I definitely get a copy of Seven Samurai and watch it.
I was introduced to Seven Samurai because of not because of Star Wars, but because I'm a fan of old westerns, and my dad had me watch The Magnificent Seven.
Okay,
and The Magnificent Seven is the Western version of the Seven Samurai.
Ah, okay,
that's what it is. And so we watched the old one. Then it did a whole bunch of spin-offs off of that, but I never watched those. But then there was the new version that came out with Denzel Washington, Chris Pratt. That's the Seven Samurai again, which actually is a really good update, by the way.
Okay.
And so that goes back to the Kurosawa's work as well. It's all in a continuous chain kind of a thing. So even when we see the influence, we see the influence in the Ahsoka episodes of The Mandalorian, where you get the you almost wanted to do the Western whistle, you know.
Oh,
wah, 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 you know, where you see the Ahsoka and Elsbeth fight.
Yes.
Which was fantastic. And I dare say, I'm looking forward to some of that martial arts style in the new show coming up, The Acolyte.
Okay.
The latest clip. I've been watching the clips, and I tell you what, I'm interested. I'm intrigued. No matter what everyone says about what the director says or anything like that, I just want a good Star Wars story. But this is a Star Wars story that's got martial arts in it. And so
I'm there for the ride with you, Stephen.
We're going to have some good discussions here in a couple of weeks. We're not going to do that for another month, 4 weeks. We're going to go 4 weeks in. The show has two episodes that do the first one. And then we're going to watch a couple more. And then we're going to do kind of like a mid-season kind of review of it. So, but yeah, that's kind of the game plan. That's the goal.
Look, if it's good Star Wars, great. Just give me good Star Wars. But
yes,
I just got my doubts going into it. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So Angie said in the private chat, Star Wars needs Ip Man. If you have not seen those, that's Donnie Yen. We did get Ip Man, sort of.
Well, yeah, technically,
the Force was with me.
Oh, we need to give a shout out to Sam.
Sam,
he's in the chat. Good morning, Sam. Good morning from the down under.
Good to have you join us, man.
Yeah.
So, well, with
Or
that,
well, no, it's not Sam's good morning. It's Sam's good night.
oh,
Sorry.
that is true.
I keep forgetting that because they're
That is
like on the
true.
other side of the planet practically, and yeah,
Right.
it's night for him. So good night, Sam.
Opposite hemisphere and southern hemisphere.
Right. I forget that. I should know this stuff, especially with my job, but
That's
oh well.
okay.
It is
That's
what
all
it is.
right.
So overall, I
Mhm.
like the Star Wars Ronin. I love the concept. The concept is fantastic. It is such a neat idea. It's something totally different for Star Wars, something we've never experienced, before. I love bringing the whole Japanese influence into it. I think it's really cool. The story of this one was confusing. I wouldn't turn anyone away from this. Please do read it and see for yourself whether you like it or not. The art alone is worth the purchase of this book. It really is. Beautiful art, just fantastic. I don't think I could gush much more on the art of this book. Just incredible.
Yep, absolutely. Cool beans. Well, we probably need to wrap things up. We're an hour in, and so we're going to say, hey, everybody, thanks for joining us here. Here on Two Geeks and a Microphone. I think there was something else I was going to share, but I totally forgot. But here's
we should probably share next week. We are continuing Rebel Moon, correct?
Yes, Rebel Moon Part 2. Hey, everybody, Mike is being very gracious to Steven.
Well, we started it, so we're going to finish it. We will do Part 3 too.
That's correct.
Well, unless of course Steven skips all of 2, then we might not do 3. We'll see what happens.
I've watched it twice already. So
really,
yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. So yeah, we're gonna do Rebel Moon Part 2, and then the week after that we are doing Fallout.
Yes, and Angie,
I am looking forward to Fallout. Angie, are you going to be able to join us for Fallout?
I'm going to try to hop in. I can only be in for a little bit because I overbooked myself. I forgot I have a counseling thing that I'm doing. It is helping me to train in all my different, organizations that I work with and stuff like that. So I
do we need to change Fallout? Because we probably could do the opening of Acolyte that week.
We can't really because we have another guest too.
Who's joining? Who's the other person joining?
My friend Tyler Marshall, who's also
joining us for Fallout.
Yes, Tyler's coming for Fallout.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm bummed. I'm like,
I'm so sorry.
So it's not like I can hop in for 15 minutes. So I have to sit for an hour and then sneak away and be like, hi guys, bye guys.
Yeah, no worries.
Well, if you could hop in for a few minutes, just kind of give how you feel, the show versus the game, so on and so forth. Totally. That'd be great. I don't have that perspective. I've never played the game. Tyler has that perspective. Tyler is a huge fan of it. Tyler's wife is Contagious Punk, by the way. She streams on Twitch. So and I invited her too, but she said that she's just not the Fallout player. Tyler is the Fallout player.
Nice.
So he is going to have some really good perspective on
good insight
for Fallout 4 because I'm kind of a noob when it comes to certain types of games. And as much as a storyline as it is, it's also a first-person shooter type thing. So for me, it was a little bit difficult. So it took me 5 years to play this game, Fallout 4. Because I would start it, stop it. So I've invested a lot of hours in that game.
Nice. Well, I'm looking forward to Fallout. I've only watched the first 2 or 3 episodes. I forget which. And I got to say, what I've seen, I like. I really do like what I see.
It's from start to finish. It's good for the people who've never played it or anything. So you're good.
Yeah. And if you don't have a lot of time, you can watch the first 2 to 3 episodes and then the last 2 episodes, and you're good to go.
No comment.
Oh, we love you, Steven.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'll drink to that.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm not going to say much more better, though.
I hear you.
It's all right.
That's funny. All right.
All right.
Cool. All right. Well, everybody, hey, thanks so much for joining us here on Two Geeks and a Microphone. If you want to check us out, our website is twogeeksmike.com. That is the number two. Geeks, GEEKSMIC.com. Also, check out our Ko-fi page, www.kofi.com/2geeks. There for our sponsors this last week, those who help support us, our supporters. If you are a one-time or if for that month, if you support us even for that month, during that month, you can get access to all kinds of things. And we just released, just a couple of weeks ago, our audio version of our book, If Qui-Gon Jinn Lived. And it's pretty cool. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Took me a lot of credits to spend to get that dadgum AI to say Qui-Gon, not Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon.
So there may be one that I missed in there. I hope not. I tried to get them all, kind of a thing, but
we reached out to George Lucas, and George had this to say. Well, originally it was Qui. It was Qui. I wanted Qui. It's Qui-Gon. It depends on what part of Tatooine you're from. Qui.
Right. So we're going to have more stuff like that. I'm pretty excited. Some more, just been doing some fun storytelling and things like that. I'm working on a fun short story right now about an assassin, a female assassin who has OCD with blood. So who's OCD?
I am so fascinated by this.
It's a comedy. It's a comedy thriller kind of a thing. Short story.
I love it.
Yeah. So I'll get that kind of done. Hopefully I'll get that done for our next one kind of thing. Then I'm going to experiment with some horror storytelling.
Ooh.
So kind of a thing. So
even hopping into the horror side of things.
Yeah, I was inspired by our friends at Three Geeky Dads, to be open with you. Those guys are great. And so they have inspired me to kind of look into that. Ex-pastor into horror stuff.
Hey, look, one of my favorite movies is Halloween. So,
right.
in fact, my favorite coffee mug is a Michael Myers. The many faces of Michael Myers, and it's got Michael Myers happy, Michael Myers sad, so on and so forth.
That's funny. That's funny because they're all the same picture.
Right.
Got it. All right. So, hey, everybody, also check out our merch page, twogeeksmikemerch.com. Over here in the next couple of months, we're going to be designing some new stuff. That'll be fun stuff. One of the things I heard today was, what did you say, Megan? That was funny. I thought would be good on a shirt. Too many ums. Anyway, we got some other stuff we're going to
3 years of broadcasting. You think we'd figure that out?
Right. Hey, if you want to reach out to us at show@twogeeksmike.com, show@twogeeksmike.com. Mike is on top of that email. He's on it like white on rice, like butter on toast. He stays pretty much on it and stuff. So really appreciate you guys hanging out with us here on the show, and we look forward to all kind of fun stuff coming up this month. So we got Rebel Moon, we got Fallout, we are taking Father's Day weekend off, and then we're going to do Star Wars Acolyte, and then Godzilla versus Kong versus Justice League.
Yes.
All
right. And if you made it this far, make sure and go and like and subscribe to us. Like us on Facebook. I try to post a lot of funny memes, not to mention any upcoming events such as our upcoming episodes that we will be doing. Give the little bell a tickle, ding the dong, whatever, ling along, ling long. And subscribe over there on YouTube. If you do all that, you'll get notifications of every time we go live. And speaking of going live, we go live every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, unless, of course, you are in Australia. I don't know what the hell your time is there. You do the math, because I don't like math, and figure that all out. Anyway, so I think that's all I've got. How about you, Steven?
That's it. That's all I got.
All right. With that said, over and out. Looking for my outro. Over and out. May the force be with you. And I gotta get the hell out of here before my dog destroys my studio. Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,
May the force be with you.